Thank you, Willie. I am excited for today. Imagination is really the point of beginning, right? All of our beginnings come from something we have imagined, and it's what gets us to where we want to go. I want to start out with a quote from Napoleon Hill. It says, "The imagination is literally the workshop wherein are fashioned all plans created by man. The impulse, the desire, is given shape, form, and action through the aid of the imaginative faculty of the mind. It has been said that man can create anything which he can imagine." Napoleon talks about two different types of imagination. There is synthetic imagination and creative imagination. Uh, Synthetic imagination comes from, he talks about in the form of like an engineer. Engineers use synthetic imagination all the time. It's through problem solving and what is got to be going on behind the scenes to be causing this problem. What do we need to do to make these wheels turn? Like that is synthetic imagination. And I feel like a lot of times in my life, I have fallen into that unknowingly, right? Like we all have been there. I really want to focus, like others have, on creative imagination. A few years back, my husband and I were a couple of years into building our business, and things seemed to be mundane and boring again. And one day it was just like, we feel like we're kind of back where we were, like living day to day, not having anything exciting going on. And it was kind of like a big letdown because here we were living the entrepreneurial dream, working from home, working on our own timetable, doing the things we wanted to do with our kids when we wanted to do them. And yet life wasn't fulfilling. And it was really hard to accept that. And for a while, it was just like, oh, we just need to be more thankful for what we have. We need to, realize this great thing that we're doing, which is all true and good. However, we brought that up in one of our masterminds, and the realization came that we had stopped dreaming. We had stopped thinking big. When we built our business, we had that dream, we had that desire, and it was really weird to realize that we had stopped dreaming to the top of that dream. The ceiling was starting our own business and having our own freedom of time, and we stopped there. So of course things were boring, and we didn't have any plans beyond that. And so it was really weird. Unknowingly, we had put a limit on ourselves. We had put a limit on our capacity to dream. While exciting and scary, taking the leap to become an entrepreneur, burning your bridges, things like that. Like I said, we put achieving that was the ceiling of our dream at the time. And so what we really had to do was dig deep and build another dream. And it was really weird because we hadn't done that. It took us a few years to get where we were at. And it was like, well, what do we dream of? What more is there? And of course, there was a lot more. We could tell that we were bored. We were, just living day to day, but we literally couldn't figure out another dream. And it was just so weird to me. I've always been somebody who loves fun, loves adventure, and to sit there and be like, I don't know what's going to bring me this desire and this excitement of having, like, what am I going to dream of next? And so I love it because Napoleon Hill talks about this imagination being like a muscle. If you don't use it, you're going to lose it, right? Like I can tell that in my arms, I got to get back to my arm exercises. I had lost that muscle to be able to like dream creatively and have that excitement. So we had to dream again and imagine what more we wanted and what was going to give us that fulfillment and happiness we were looking for. It goes on in the book and he says, only when the conscious mind is functioning at exceedingly high level of intensity or energy, for example, when the conscious mind is stimulated through the emotion of a strong desire. So it's not just saying like, oh, I want to go to Disneyland. It's like, what is going to be that dream, that what's going to give me that desire to get up every day and keep going, to get up every day and go pound the pavement, to do whatever I have to do to get to that dream. It says the high energy comes from having that burning desire to solve a problem. The ideas or thought vibrations from seemingly nowhere will appear, which will help you achieve your goal. So you have to get yourself into that imaginative state. And I love, we've done an exercise here with Champion Circle where we call it, it's like build upon. And so somebody comes up with an idea. Say we're going to throw a birthday party for our friend John. What's going to be at that birthday party? You know, and you get silly with it. You get creative and you say an idea and somebody else next to you adds upon it. And you come out with this crazy, silly adventure that you guys are going to have. And it really took activities like that to break it down in my brain to be able to have these exciting dreams again. And I'm so thankful for the steps, because if you read Think and Grow Rich, if you surround yourself with people who are doing the same, you will be given the steps and the help you need to get there. You're not stuck in this place in life that you're not meant to be feeling down and just like there's nothing else for you. But if you don't take action, you will notice that the frequencies of those creative insights will diminish. You know, you've got to take those steps and keep building upon them. It goes on to say, when we use our creative imagination, it becomes more alert and we are more open to using that imagination. And just like I said before, it's a muscle, and if we don't use it, you're going to lose it. I was reading an article and it talks about the reason why many musicians and actors tend to do their greatest work early in their careers is because they come out of the gate with that dream, that imagination of they're going to be something big, right? And they have that and they're doing everything they can to get that. I love the show American Idol. I was watching it last night, and you can see that ambition in those artists' face. When they come out on stage, they're getting critiqued, they're getting feedback, but they have all that ambition because they have the desire to win that competition, you know, because that competition gives them easy access to achieve their dreams, to become that famous person and earn money, making music and singing. And so looking at things like that, like, what do you see in yourself? What do you need to do to be able to dream like that again? What dream do you have that you've been sitting on just because you're like, I'm never going to get there, right? I'm never going to get to do that. And so for me, for Ty and I, is we sat down to write our dreams and our ambitions, and it was actually really hard, like I mentioned. And it was so weird that I couldn't tap into that right away. It honestly took us a week or more to be able to come up with like this big dream that we wanted, right? Like you can throw out, like I said, going to Disneyland, I'm going to go do this, we want to travel. But what is above that? What drives you to do that? Why do you want to go travel? Is it to learn? Is it to be able to go serve people around the world? Is it to reach a higher audience of people? You've got to think of those things. Like I said, been said before, you need to write those things down and have a definite why to your dream. And then your imagination can kick in and help you fill in those gaps of where you need to go to be able to achieve that. So Napoleon goes on to talk about how we have the power to obtain these things ourselves. It's all within us. And in Think and Grow Rich, he teaches us the mastermind methodology. And so using the people around you, the people in your realm, take your dreams that you have written down and you go and you talk it through, mastermind. It is rare that we can get there alone to achieve our dreams. We have to have the people who have the other specialized knowledge, the other pieces to our puzzle to get there. It is, like I said, very rare that you will get there alone. And if you do, I want to know how you did it. But in closing, I just love, I love the imagination because it really has given me a new aspect on life. I've been able to do more things in these last few years than I ever thought possible. Teaching at retreats, going and being with people, like-minded people who are there to help me achieve my dreams and celebrating together. And so I challenge you to take a few moments each day to dream. Dream about what you would be doing if you had all the free time that you desired, if money weren't a problem, and then write it down. And then go share it with people in your circles. And next, pray to have that burning desire to do whatever you have to do to achieve it. And with that, I wrap it up that if you do those things, you will find success. You will grow in your personal life and your business life. Going from living paycheck to paycheck, day to day, doing the same routine thing, to dreaming and knowing that there's no endless point to it, that we can keep dreaming and keep achieving those things, has changed our lives forever. And I am so grateful to be able to share that with you.